Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie and welcome back to my channel. This is the third time I started this video. It's been so long since I recorded anything, I forgot how to do this. So I know I posted a little comment on the community tab on my channel. It's like the first comment I think I've ever posted there. Just to let you guys know, apologies for being gone for most of May. It is the end of year time for my courses. For those of you that don't know, I'm a chemistry teacher. And so, yeah, just buried in final exam grading and final report writing and paperwork and all of that kind of stuff. But most of that is done. There's always a few little things that crop up, but most of the bulk of that is done now. And I am on some summer holidays. There's always, of course, things to do over the summer too as a teacher, but things are a little less intense, definitely less intense than end of year time. Just to ease back into video recording, I thought that I would do a little bit of a flip through video of these two books. You'll see these I do have a May haul, I know. Just some stuff that I bought for myself that I was kind of like, this is a stressful month and a little treat for myself for finishing. Yeah. But these are two of the books that I purchased, but I wanted to do a flip through because they're kind of different. And I haven't seen them a lot on the sort of the coloring community on YouTube. They are French books, and I believe they are both published by Marabou. And Marabou, I think, is the company that does the Disney books. Now, I'm not a huge Disney fan, so I don't have any of those Disney books. And, there's a company that everyone orders from, Lyrica? I think that's what it's called. And I'm not sure if these are available on Lyrica. I actually bought these through Amazon. They were on Amazon Canada. But I was sort of on the hunt for books that had better paper. I don't mind Amazon print paper, the CreateSpace paper, but I just wanted, just some better paper. And, excuse me, allergies are flaring up this time of year too. I found these two. I found some others as well, but you'll see those in my haul video. But these two were kind of unique, so I thought, well, I'm going to do a flip through just in case somebody else might be interested. I really love this one. But maybe let's do the other one first. So this is Jardins Fleurs, which I think I did take French in school being in Canada, but it was a long time ago. And I apologize for my accent. It's probably not great. Gardens in Flower, I think that's what that would translate to. Coloriage, vagabondage, végétal. Something about wandering through a garden or something like that. Avec le modèle en couleur pour l'inspiration. So with coloring inspiration. So I'm going to save that. We'll do that one second. This one, flowers and fruits in du verger. Jardin would be garden. I'm not sure what that translates to. Basically, it is a botanical coloring book. It's by Séverine Prélat. And I'm sorry, I know my French pronunciation is probably terrible. It's a fairly thick book. It's about the size of like Joanna Basford's books. So it's square. I will give you the ISBN there. And forgive me, I actually got a new desk. And that will maybe be part of the haul video as well. Because I guess I hauled a desk. There you go. And that puts my camera in a different place. And I keep thinking my camera is there, but it's not. It's there now. So I apologize if I'm trying to watch the screen in front of me and keep things in frame. So let's take a look. This has now the glue is giving away a little bit here. Where the glue was attached to the cover, which, I mean, that's okay. I don't think this is a new book. This is, well, it's 2022. Good paper. And it's just got I think they call that a French flap. Is that what they call it? I did actually break the spine on this already, just so it was easier to flip. See if I can get centered there. Marabout, and then in brackets it has Hachette livre, so Hachette books, or Hachette books. So I'm not sure if Marabout and Hachette are sister companies or if they're one and the same. I'm not actually sure. So there's a shadow there too. Apologize for that. So this is ce livre. So the books belongs to kind of page. And what I liked about this book was, and then there's some information here in French. That clicking sound you can hear in the background, believe it or not, is my fridge. And it's when it turns on, it makes this clicking sound. It has since the day I bought it. I don't know why. It just does. I call it my fridge elves. And then as the compressor, it's got to be the compressor, right? Sort of warms up, then the clicking stops. It's like a clacking. Yeah. Anyway. I do like the illustration style. The line art isn't really heavy. But what I really liked about it was it's like a botany, so science, right? And so it goes alphabetically, and we've got descriptions in French of different plants, fruits, vegetables, etc. And it's also got the Latin name. And so this is abricotier, so apricot, maybe? I would think, or it's Prunus armeniaca. Sorry, trying to read the Latin there. So it could be a type of plum, apricot, something like that. And you've got sort of a wallpaper page here. You've got an image of, this reminds me of the old botany books they used to make. And hang on one sec. I'm going to grab one just to show you guys. Hold on. I'm back. I should also say, for those of you that are not familiar, this is going to be a long chatty video, even though we're only flipping 2 books, because that's just kind of what I do. So you can either watch it on double speed or, maybe find another channel that doesn't do long chatty videos, because it's just kind of what I do. So anyway, I apologize. This is a book that I found at it wasn't a garage sale. A bunch of people got together and rented a hall, like a community hall, and then they had tables. So I guess it was it wasn't really an estate sale either. Anyway, somebody had a bunch of old books. And I don't know if you can see, this is in Swedish. Can you see the date there? It's very tiny. It says 1874. Now, why on earth someone in my local small Canadian town would have a botany book from 1874 in Swedish, I don't know. But they wanted like $1 for it, so I bought it. I love it. I can't read it. I don't read Swedish. But it has, right, this sort of thing, where it's got the plant sort of drawn in a lot of detail. It's got the seeds, the leaves, the flowers, and then it's got information here on the right. And then, looks like a maple to me. It's even got the Latin there. So I should actually be able to, even though I can't read Swedish, I should be able to read some of these, because I do know some Latin names of plants. That's some kind of orchid. Could be like a lady's slipper. I'm going to say that's a dandelion. But yeah, so I'm trying to be really careful with this book too. But so yeah, this little botanical book, that's what this reminds me of. So you've got sort of this botanical drawing here, because of course you wouldn't have a fully formed fruit and a flower on the same branch, right? You wouldn't. and then some information, and then you've got sort of close-ups of the different parts of it on this side. Now, I don't know, unless you were really into botany and science, maybe this doesn't appeal to you as much as it does to me, but I really loved it. This is sweet violets, like wood violets. Actually, I guess it's not. I thought it was alphabetical, but it's not. Because, of course, now we're in V's. That's grapes. Here we've got... I think its common name is Love in a Mist, I think. It's a garden flower. Almonds. Sweet peas. But yeah, I just thought this was a really neat book. And it's got, like I say, really, really great paper. Campanula, so that's, oh my goodness, bellflowers. Bergamot? I don't think I knew what bergamot looked like. I'm going to guess it looks like that. Peonies. Sorry, trying to stay in screen here. Prunus domestica. So this is domestic prune. So the first one must have been an apricot. Future editing Connie here. Domestic plum, not prune. Prunes don't grow on trees. Prunes are dried plums. I should have known that. I think my brain needs to recover from my my final month of classes. Sorry about that. Kiwi. Tropical cappuccino. I am not sure what that is. Maybe one of you might know. You can let me know in the comments. We used to call these Chinese lanterns. They're like a papery orange seed pod. Cherries. Yeah, you get the idea. It's just chicory. I just thought it was a really neat book. Apples, malice, oranges. It would be neat to use, this would make just a really pretty page on its own, right? You've got the wallpaper kind of background. You could do the background kind of in pale, if you wanted to do realistic colors, take the realistic colors, but do the background kind of in paler shades of that, or, you know, not quite so saturated, and then do the main image really saturated with those colors. This is tricolor violets. And you could use the right-hand page to practice, you know, this is just like, and it's in little sections, which is kind of neat. You can do, you know, one or all of them to practice the leaves. You know, if you wanted to do realistic, practice realism on, you know, the flower, the bud, one petal. I just thought it was kind of a really neat, different book. So there we've got pears, and it's quite long. Cosmos flowers. Figs. So all kinds of flowers, fruits. Poppy. Looks like pears again. Common pear? I don't know, maybe the other one wasn't a pear. I thought it was. Crocus. And it's got the actual bulb, like the sort of bare plant here on the right. Strawberries. Grandier. Pinnacle granatum. Oh, pomegranate. Nigella. No, maybe this is Lemon Mist. I can't remember. My apologies. It's a garden flower though. It's kind of a bluey color, I think. That's a cyclamen. That's more of a house plant, I think. Lemon. That's morning glory, I think. Digitalis, that's foxglove. Got some cottage garden kind of plants. There's a peach. Jonquil, narcissus, daffodil. Actually, I've never managed, and I should look into this. Daffodils and jonquils, they're not quite the same, are they? The jonquil is like the sort of original version of daffodils, and then, I mean, they've created, you can buy all different kinds of daffodils to plant, right? Different color combinations. These are the ones that have, I think, the white outer petals, and then the center cup is like a very, almost like a yellowy orange. Rosa canina, dog rose. So wild rose, basically. Conacier. Again, it looks like almost like more of a pear, doesn't it? Different kind slightly, maybe. Raspberries. I'm going to say that's a cactus of some kind. Flowering cactus. I'm not sure. My apologies. Hydrangea. Passion flower. I always thought those were like the weirdest looking flowers. Fritillaria. So these are the ones, they sort of look like drooping tulips, and they have, I mean, this is a very sketchy version of them, but they almost look like a checkerboard pattern on the petals. It's very neat. And then that's it. That looks like maybe some apple blossoms or cherry blossoms. And then it's got the French flap on the back as well. So yeah, this was sort of a botany almost kind of coloring book. And the other French book that I got was this one. And I really love this one. I love coloring books that have the colored image on the left. So the artist colors the image, and then the line work on the right. Because to me, it just gives that opportunity for copying if you want. You don't have to. But, I mean, I just like looking at the artwork as well. So again, this is Jardins fleur, so gardens in flower, I think. Is that how it translates? Sonia Cavallini. Marabou is the publisher. There's the back. 35 illustrations. I will give you the ISBN. Oh, sorry. Is that focusing? I hope it is. If not, just let me know in the comments below, and I can pop the there's some links or the ISBN in there. So again, this has, I think they call them French flaps. And did I break the spine on this one too? I think I did. I just go through and break the spines on the books before I do a flip, just because then it's easier for me to get them to lay flat. It's got an introduction here. The artist, Sonia Cavallini. I really like this style. It's very, I want to say cartoony. What's the word? I think I was watching a flip with colored by Maya. So it was Maya doing a flip. And she used the term like a primitive art style. And she's, I love Maya. I love your channel. I love the books that you flip. I've gotten so many ideas from you. And so that's what this style reminds me of. So then it seems to be, have sections. So this is nature and flowers. But look at this. Like, how lovely is that? So you've got this gorgeous kind of, I don't know if that's, it almost looks watercolory, doesn't it? Image here, and then sort of a bigger version here with line work. Now, I did notice this and this aren't exactly the same. Like if you look, well, if you look in here, right, you've got sort of trees kind of in the back. That's a little bit different than what's going on right here. And I think they did that for a reason, because if you look at the background here, this is a very watercolory way of indicating, you know, trees kind of way off in the distance. I mean, it's basically just almost blobs of color, right? That would be difficult to then put over here to color, right? Because it's, you know, if someone's doing this with pencil, I can see why they did it, right? It would be a very, they've basically taken this image and turned it into a more coloring friendly version, if that makes sense. I think that's what they've done. But they've stayed pretty true. You know, you've got the same kind of flowers here. There's the little lilies of the valley. Then we've got some daffodils. But again, it's, I mean, this is very primitive. And I don't mean primitive as in, it's an art term, right? It's describing, it doesn't mean the artist isn't talented or they're not professional. That's not what it means. It's just not, they're not focusing on realism, I think is more what it's getting at. Future editing, Connie here again. I think the term that I was struggling to think of, and I couldn't during the video, was it was more of a folk art kind of an approach. So I think primitive is also a term that they use, but yeah, more of a folk art approach as opposed to, you know, hyperrealism, which again, folk art does not mean, you know, amateur, not talented. Sonia is obviously a very talented artist, but it's just that more of a folk art look, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and then kind of a similar style here, and I just love it. I love the fact that you've got a colored background here. I love the color choices, and then it just keeps going. I mean, how lovely is that? You've got more of a planned garden there. You know, you've got the very stark shapes for a garden that's been trimmed. And you've got little animals. I don't know if you noticed in this last one. I think little squirrels. This one has a bunny. Here we've got almost a Asian kind of oriental with a stork and yeah, that kind of a feel. A lily pond there. It looks like it has some koi fish in it. Or a crane, not a stork. Sorry, a crane, right? That would be a crane. A greenhouse. It's got some chickens and butterflies. We've got a vegetable garden here. Again, not going for realism because carrots wouldn't be up out of the ground like that, right? I mean, that's not how carrots grow. But I love it. I just love it. Now, sorry, this paper, it's pretty smooth and it's thicker. I mean, it's not like hugely thick cardstock, but it's not thin. And I'll have to see how much water this can take. In comparison to the other book, I would say this paper feels a bit rougher, like it has a bit more tooth. Yeah, this one's smoother, but I would say the paper is about, well, the card, it's like thin card, is about the same. The chickens, like the line work here doesn't have, looks kind of funny actually, it doesn't have like the little, what do they call it, the little comb on the chicken's head isn't there, so I mean you have to kind of draw that in, so, and again, in the background, like these leaves, I guess they're sort of there. Yeah, it's just, there's slight differences like that, right? It's got this, again, kind of watercolory indication of like trees way in the background that isn't drawn in here, but you could certainly do that. Cat, butterflies. Cat, butterflies. I just thought it was such a lovely book, and I've never really seen it. I went looking on YouTube, and I think there was a flip by a French channel. It was like 4 years ago, because this isn't a new book. The other one was, what, 2022? Has it got a date on this one? Oh, 2023. That seems odd, because I'm sure the flip I was looking at was 4 years old. Huh, maybe it got reprinted? I'm not sure. So there's a bunny, some swallows, bees, tiny bees, butterflies. I just really, really like it. Les chats charmants, so charming cats. So now we've got indoor scenes, still with plants, and cats doing cat things. That's a lot of Siamese cats. Doing very naughty cat things. This one's digging in the fishbowl, because that's what cats do. This one's pulling the lamp down. It's even got kittens. So there's I don't know if you can see, like there's a kitten there. Kittens. 2 cats. Oh, their tails are entwined, sitting in front of the wood stove. And then we've got the line work here. It's just such a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book to look at. Like I say, Amazon Canada. And it wasn't a third-party seller. It was just Amazon, I think. More cats. Doing cat things, climbing trees, up on the roof of the house. On the table. These look like fluffier cats. And again, kittens. That's too cute. In the sink, because, you know, cats go where cats want to go. There's teeny baby kittens. Cats in the bedroom. Again, wherever they... So the covers are flipped back, and there's 2 little paws. I don't know if you could see that. Sticking out from underneath the covers. Because, of course, the cat would be under the covers. It's wintertime outside. The tiny details. And I mean, I love tiny details. I don't know. Can I zoom in? Let's see if I can zoom in here. Look outside. There's a teeny tiny snowman. Can you see it outside in the wintertime scene? And then I'm going to pull this over. Try not to make you too ill. Here's the line art. The teeny tiny snowman. And I mean, look at the size of my finger and my fingernail. So, yeah. Just really... I don't know. I'm just really liking this book. Those look like Bengal cats in a sort of a greenhouse, like a garden room in a fancy house. Old-fashioned kind of fancy house. It's got, this would be like the wrought iron with the glass in there. And there's, again, kittens. Kittens. I love that. Black cats. Oh my goodness, that one has a mouse. There's another mouse there. More mice here. This looks like they've spilled something because, you know, that's what cats would have done. Or it could be some kind of cloth on the floor, I guess. But details again, this inside this cabinet, I mean, there's books. There's a tiny row of, what do they call them? The nesting dolls, right? The wooden nesting dolls. There's mice up in the... There's mice everywhere in this picture. These cats are not doing their jobs. Parc et Jardins, so parks and gardens. So this is more of a like an urban scene. So a street, and then you've got the brickwork here in the background, and then potted plants. Cat. That's interesting. They've got some of the leaves in black on this side. I don't know why they would have done that. This one has a dog. Again, more of an urban kind of scene, right? Where you've got the houses and the brickwork and then sort of a pathway in the garden. There's like a city park with like a bandshell kind of cover. A raised platform. Cat again. Tiny butterflies. Which again, the tiny butterflies are here. I love tiny details to color. I just do. You'll see in my completed pages for May, which I have some. Yeah, I got out there's a book that I have and it's called Insanely Intricate. It's Angela Porter. It's a Dover book. Yeah, I did one in there. There's a dog, another dog again, butterflies. Nice little sort of weeping, are they weeping willows or weeping cypress? Trees. There's a tiny frog, two of them actually, on lily pads here. That one's got, again, sort of almost like a glass house you would have in a conservatory. Sorry, that was the word I should have thought of earlier. But this looks like a much bigger one. You've got monkeys in here. And a tropical bird. That looks like a palm tree of some kind. And then you've got, in the very background, you've got sort of city houses. It almost gives me like a Victorian kind of vibe, right? With you know, pictures like that or that, sort of Victorian. That gives me a Victorian vibe. You don't see anything kind of modern, or do you? Well, you got a computer there. I guess that's kind of modern. That gives me Victorian vibes, though. So, yeah. Sorry, my water pump just kicked on. Hopefully you can't hear it. Cherry blossoms, that's what that makes me think of. There's a cat up on the roof. A dog sleeping there. Jungle and tropics. Cat's hilarious. I don't know why. It just entertains me. I think my brain is just completely fried from this month. I don't know. The giant eyes and the cat entertain me. That was a lemur, not a cat, wasn't it? Yeah, my brain really is fried. Sorry, that was a lemur, which would have giant eyes, but it was still entertaining. There's a lemur, I think, with its stripy tail. And then we've got sort of more tropical stuff. Tiger. Isn't this just the most beautiful book, though? I just love it. And there's so many different kinds of I mean, it's all very much gardens and flowers. Some indoor stuff, but still plants and things like that in the pictures. But there's a tiny monkey there. And more monkeys here. You know, we've got, yeah, just different, what's the word? My goodness, my brain is so broken. Different settings, you know. There's a alligator or a crocodile. I don't know how to tell the difference between the two. Some tropical birds, more monkeys. A flamingo and a toucan. This looks like rice plantings, maybe, right? They would have that terraced, and then these look like rice plants. A train going over like a bridge. They call it a trestle bridge? No. I should know the name. Again, monkeys and kind of tropical birds in there. Those look like birds of paradise flowers. More tropical birds, tropical plants. That looks like a koala. Again, very tiny, very small. Potager jardin. So that's like a kitchen garden. So these are more, yeah, so here you've got vegetables. And again, not realistic. I mean, you wouldn't have pumpkins just growing like that. You wouldn't have beets growing above the ground. But I just, and I love the color choices. They're muted, but they're not really super muted, if that makes sense. And I haven't got any, other than just the lights, the ceiling lights on above me. I don't have any extra lights on, just because I thought it would give a better indication of the colors here. Sorry, that's kind of why there's a little bit of shadow, but oh, that's very pretty. A little pond with a little dock and a cat in a tree. Some corn, sunflowers. That's pretty. A winter scene, and then it's this glassed-in greenhouse. You've still got, you know, stuff growing in here. Though I don't know why. So here they've got the floor as being kind of a cream and kind of a burgundy, but instead of the burgundy here, they've got black. Which, I mean, you could have black and white tiles in there as well. That would be okay. And they've got the fence posts blacked in, and here they've got them brown. So, I mean, that's a little... If you wanted to cover that up, you could use like acrylic paint, right? It's pretty. Wisteria above there. And then different, I think that's maybe lemons. And then these in front are oranges maybe growing on, you know, sort of trellises over the top. Those look like eggplants, peppers. Kale, Swiss chard, strawberries, and raccoons. There's a pond with a cat, fish. And that's it. So yeah, again, it says Marabout and then Hachet Lèvres, 2023. French flap on the back. And that's all. So, yes, 36 minutes to flip 2 books. I know, chatty. But I just thought, particularly this one, they were such unique, beautiful books. I wanted to get back into filming and do a flip, which is, you know, pretty non-taxing. You know, I didn't have to have a whole lot prepped for it. But I wanted to get something out to you guys. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, leaving me a comment, letting a friend know that you found a channel that you like and they might like it too. Alright, I hope everyone is safe, I hope everyone is well, and I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.